Hello friends. In a world filled with distractions, fleeting pleasures, and an overwhelming amount of information, the ability to master one's mind is perhaps the most valuable skill one can acquire. Throughout history, certain individuals have sought to cultivate an unshakable mindset, a mental fortress that shields them from the storms of life. One of the most effective and time-tested philosophies for developing such a mindset is Stoicism, an ancient school of thought that emphasizes rationality, self-discipline, and resilience in the face of adversity. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of purpose, completely in control of your emotions, unbothered by the chaos of the external world. Imagine being able to handle failure, criticism, and hardship with grace, never losing your composure, never allowing circumstances to dictate your inner state. This is the mindset of the Stoic, and in this exploration, we will uncover how to cultivate such mental strength. To truly understand Stoicism, we must begin with its origins. The philosophy was founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC. Zeno, after losing his wealth in a shipwreck, found solace in philosophy and developed a system of thought that would later be refined by great Roman Stoics such as Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. These thinkers provided practical wisdom that remains just as relevant today as it was centuries ago. One of the core tenets of Stoicism is the concept of the dichotomy of control. Popularized by Epictetus, simply put, there are things within our control and things outside of our control. Our thoughts, actions, and choices fall within our sphere of control, while external events, other people's opinions, and outcomes do not. Understanding this distinction is the first step towards mental freedom. Most suffering, according to the Stoics, arises from attempting to control the uncontrollable. When we accept that external circumstances are beyond our influence, we free ourselves from unnecessary frustration and anxiety. Take for example the case of Lucius, a man who faced great misfortune in life. He lost his job, his financial security crumbled, and his friends abandoned him. Many would succumb to despair, blaming fate for their predicament. However, Lucius, inspired by Stoic teachings, chose to focus on what he could control. He could not change the past, but he could change his response to it. Instead of wallowing in self-pity, he dedicated himself to learning new skills, restructuring his mindset, and finding new opportunities. Over time, he rebuilt his life, proving that true power lies in one's ability to adapt and persevere. Another crucial aspect of Stoicism is negative visualization. Seneca advised practitioners to periodically contemplate worst-case scenarios, not to instill fear, but to prepare the mind for adversity. By imagining potential losses, whether it be health, wealth, or relationships, we become mentally resilient. When hardships inevitably arise, they no longer feel like catastrophic surprises but rather anticipated challenges that we are ready to handle. Consider Amelia, a modern-day Stoic in a high-stress profession. Each morning, she visualizes potential obstacles she may face: difficult clients, failed projects, unexpected setbacks. This mental exercise prepares her for the worst. So when difficulties arise, she remains calm and composed. Instead of reacting with panic, she meets challenges with a sense of prepared resilience. This ability to remain unshaken in adversity gives her a competitive edge over her peers. Furthermore, the Stoics emphasized the importance of virtue as the highest good. To them, external achievements, wealth, fame, power, were secondary to developing an ethical and disciplined character. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote extensively about the transient nature of worldly success and the importance of living with integrity. He urged himself, and us, to act justly, to speak truthfully, and to conduct ourselves with honor, regardless of external circumstances. In today's world, many chase material success, believing it will bring lasting happiness. Yet, countless stories of wealthy yet miserable individuals prove otherwise. True fulfillment comes not from what we own but from who we become. The Stoic path teaches that by aligning our actions with virtues such as courage, wisdom, temperance, and justice, we cultivate an inner wealth far more valuable than material riches. One cannot discuss Stoicism without addressing the practice of voluntary discomfort. The Stoics believed in periodically exposing themselves to discomfort to build resilience. Seneca would fast or sleep on the floor to remind himself that luxury was not a necessity. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that by enduring hardship willingly, one becomes immune to suffering. In modern life, this can be applied in various ways. Taking cold showers, fasting, engaging in physically demanding activities, these small acts of voluntary discomfort train the mind to handle adversity. When we become comfortable with being uncomfortable, we build an unshakable mindset that remains strong under pressure. Moreover, Stoicism teaches the art of detachment from emotions. This does not mean suppressing emotions but rather observing them without being controlled by them. When anger arises, instead of acting impulsively, the Stoic steps back and analyzes its cause. When fear surfaces, the Stoic questions its validity. By practicing mindfulness and self-awareness, one gains mastery over emotions rather than being a slave to them. A crucial lesson in this philosophy is amor fati, or the love of fate. Rather than resisting what happens, the Stoic embraces every event as necessary for their growth. This mindset shift transforms obstacles into opportunities. Instead of seeing misfortune as a setback, one can view it as training for greater strength. Take Ethan, an athlete who suffered a career-ending injury. He could have succumbed to despair, mourning the loss of his dreams. But instead, he embraced his new reality. He channeled his energy into coaching, mentoring others, and using his experience to inspire. His story exemplifies the power of loving one's fate and making the most of every situation. Ultimately, Stoicism is not just a philosophy to be studied but a way of life to be practiced daily. It teaches us that true freedom lies not in external circumstances but in our ability to master our own minds. By focusing on what we can control, practicing negative visualization, living virtuously, embracing discomfort, managing emotions, and loving our fate, we develop an unshakable mindset that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace. As you move forward, remember, every obstacle is an opportunity, every hardship is a lesson, and every moment is a chance to exercise virtue. Do not seek a life free of challenges. Seek instead the strength to face them with unwavering resolve. Thank you for joining this journey into the Stoic mindset. May you cultivate the mental fortitude to face life's trials with wisdom, courage, and serenity. Until next time, stay strong and embrace every moment as a stepping stone to greatness.